Welcome back to the Sports Cage. Munzie, Barney, and if you're watching the feed, there you see Regina Pat's goaltender Ewan Huet joining us on the program. They take on the Medicine Hat Tigers on Friday, probably without Gavin McKenna in the lineup. Vicious slash. We talked about that earlier, Munzie. All right. Yeah. You know, for a goaltender here, Ewan, like this season, I got to ask you, you knew you guys were going to be young. It's a bit of a rebuild with the Pats. You're back here. As an older guy and as a goalie, what kind of goals did you have for yourself this year, and have you achieved them?
I rarely set myself some goals. I think I like to have team goals. And I think for me this year was to reach the playoffs. Obviously, it won't happen, but, when we saw we were on the losing side, I wanted to have like a decent save percentage and, help the team get as many wins as we can.
And I think when you look at it, obviously everybody wants to win from a team standpoint, but I guess if you have to be a little bit selfish, and sometimes hockey players do, to have their own success or try and have the best season possible you can, especially in your position, it's never fun, but is it fun when you might get 30, 40 plus shots a night to make sure that, you're doing everything you can for yourself too?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's part of the job too, especially when you have a younger team going against, Medhat and Lethbridge, like top teams in the league. It's always fun games, and always, look forward to those games for sure.
What's the, I know how you're going to answer this, but, yourself and the other tender, Kelton Pine, you guys split. Kelton's played a little bit more this year than you, but that relationship, is that you guys pushing each other, challenging each other? I'm sure you guys get along.
Oh yeah, we get along really well. Kelton's a great guy. He's fun to be around, and for sure as a goaltender, you want to play more than the other, and I think we're challenging each other, pushing each other, and I'm sure you can see it in practice and in games, and it's been really fun all year long. He's, as I said, great guy to be around, really good goaltender, and learned a lot from him for sure.
What's Regina been like? Like a kid from Switzerland. I've never been there. We've seen the pictures. You've been here now a few years. What's the city, what's the organization been like for you?
It's been awesome. I loved it since day one. It's, the organization as a whole, the staff, obviously my teammates, they've all been great. And, my billets has been awesome. The guys I live with, Billet Brothers, I love my experience, and, it's just been a fun ride.
The Alps just south of Albert Street are probably a little bit different than what you see back at home. Obviously, I'm a Regina guy. I bleed green and white. There's no question about it, even living outside the province now. But, what kind of expectations did you have when you came over? And I know you're into this now. It's not like it's something new this year. You've had a couple years under your belt, but is it kind of what you expected it to be? Was it majorly different from not only the city, but the entire league, or how did that all play out for you?
I think it definitely met my expectations. Even, it's been awesome. I always, I grew up dreaming of playing Canada for sure. And, being drafted to Regina, it's been so much fun. And, the league is just awesome. It's been a lot of fun. It's great places, great rinks, great fans. It's just been a lot of fun for sure.
Why grow up dreaming of playing in Canada?
Well, I don't know. It's for me, for European kids, hockey in Canada is it's just a religion. The fans, it's just everything. It's just a whole. And the dub is, it has in the world. When you think about WHL, you think about the best league in, junior league in the world, and being able to play in it, it's just awesome.
How often? Sorry, how often do you talk to your dad?
Oh, it depends. I would say, at least, let's say around once or twice a week. depends on the weeks for sure.
So that's kind of what I wanted to bring in there, Barney. Obviously, your dad wins a Stanley Cup in Chicago. Kid in Regina a couple years ago put the Pats on the map again after being one of the most storied franchises in the league, and Connor Bedard, obviously. Did that have anything to do or add to the excitement for you coming into the Western League after you saw what, your dad did and then the Connor tie and kind of it all goes hand in hand?
Oh, yeah. Obviously, I was watching Regina Pats highlights, the year before I got drafted here, then, not knowing where I was going to end up. And when I got drafted by Regina, I was like, oh, wow, that's awesome. Connor Bedard played there. And, when I got into the locker room for the first time, packed with guys who played with him, and it adds, it's just Connor Bedard, right?
When you go back to your dad's time in the NHL, did you get a chance to spend a lot of time with him? Did you like visiting? And then like Munzie mentioned the Chicago stop. Did you get to spend a lot of time? And then the second part of that question is, who is the NHLer that you loved being around? Like maybe as a youngster?
Oh, I don't have a lot of memories. I have a lot of pictures, photos, a lot of photo albums made by my mom. So that helps my memory a little bit. But I think, the only memories that I have are probably in Chicago of his time winning the cup. I remember, I think the one I remember the most is Dustin Byfuglien, in the locker room, putting me on, when they won the cup, spraying champagne everywhere, just putting me on the top shelf in the locker room just so I wouldn't get sprayed. But yeah, no, that's pretty much it. Don't have a lot of memories of his time there.
Okay, I got to ask you, your years in the WHL, what's your favorite road trip, road barn to play in?
Oh, there's a couple good ones. I really loved the road trip in the US division. It was a lot of fun games there. Obviously Spokane, when we played there, it was a packed barn, it was a lot of fun. We lost that game, but a lot of excitement, and it was fun. Then Seattle, Edmonton, Calgary was always a lot of fun to play, and I don't mind playing in PA either. It's always a good game. It's a tough game, and you're tough to play there. So I like those games.
Is there one? Maybe more. It's a road trip than a barn. Is there one road trip you're not going to,
miss?
Be too sad about not hopping on that lung and going to?
Not really. This year, the Alberta division is really good. So, anytime we go to Alberta, having to face Lethbridge, Manhattan, Calgary, it's always tough. But, I love playing in their barns, and Alberta is always a lot of fun. But yeah, they're always tough to, play against.
I think days are obviously different, Barney, from when you and I were kind of riding around on the buses in junior hockey. But obviously, when you look at that now for you, how do you kill time? What are you and your teammates doing on the bus when you're ragging out 5, 6, 7 hours?
Oh, we've been playing some poker lately, but usually, I'm a big napper, and Netflix. Sometimes a book here and there, but not too often,
Regina Pats goaltender Ewan Huet joining us here on the Western Pizza guest hotline. Munzie and I are talking like there were times that if your bus had a DVD player, like it was like, yes, awesome. And if it didn't, it was like, okay, Kaiser in the back, I guess.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, exactly. Do you even know what a DVD player is?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know.
Okay, good.
I'm not that young.
Yeah. I got one more. You signed to play pro next year in Switzerland, back home. How does that all come about? Was that kind of one of the goals? We started this with talking about goals. One of the goals is to play pro hockey back home.
Yeah, for sure. I obviously I grew up watching all these guys play pro hockey. Back home, it's such a fun league. Fans are great, and travel is really good. So can't complain about that. But yeah, it's always been a goal. Playing pro hockey, making a living out of hockey is just it's just wonderful.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us here. You still got a few road trips, couple chances to win some cash off the boys. when it comes to chucking
Exactly.
cards in the back. Best of luck going forward. I really appreciate your time, and it's been fun watching you.
Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for having me.